Breaking news. Pressure mounts on Arne Slot. As Liverpool bosses consider serious warning, Klopp linked with possible return to Anfield coaching structure. Liverpool's early season turbulence has ignited serious concerns inside Anfield, as reports emerge that head coach Arne Slot could soon receive a formal warning from the club's hierarchy. According to Sky Sports, the Dutch manager is under growing pressure following a string of disappointing results that have left both fans and executives questioning his tactical approach and team management. Despite leading Liverpool to a Premier League title last season, Slot's current campaign has been far from convincing. His side's inconsistent performances, coupled with poor defensive organization and a lack of attacking sharpness, have reignited discussions about whether he is truly the right man to sustain Liverpool's long-term vision. Sources close to the club suggest that Liverpool owners, Fenway Sports Group, are becoming increasingly frustrated by the team's decline in form. There is a growing belief among senior figures that if the situation doesn't improve soon, Slot could face dismissal, even if it means parting ways with a title-winning coach just one season after glory. Internal pressure and fan frustration. The tension at Anfield has been rising for weeks. Several key players, including Mohamed Salah and Dominic Szoboszlai, have failed to replicate their previous season's performances. While fatigue and tactical confusion have been blamed, many insiders argue that the problem runs deeper, pointing directly to Slot's system and decision-making. Sky Sports reports that Slot's in-game management, particularly his substitutions and defensive setups, have come under heavy scrutiny. Some of his decisions, such as benching creative players in crucial matches, have baffled fans and analysts alike. One senior source reportedly said, "Liverpool have spent heavily, and they have the talent to dominate. But at the moment, the team looks disconnected. The pressing intensity that used to define them has vanished, and the transitions are painfully slow. Something has to change quickly. That something, it seems, could involve the return of a very familiar face. Jurgen Klopp. Klopp's shadow still looms large over Anfield. Ever since Jurgen Klopp stepped down as Liverpool manager, the club has struggled to maintain the same emotional and tactical fire that defined his era. Klopp's reign wasn't just about trophies. It was about identity. The passion, intensity, and sense of unity he built at Anfield created a culture that became the envy of Europe. Now, whispers from multiple British outlets, including Sky Sports and The Athletic, suggest that Klopp could make a shock return, not as head coach, but as a special advisor or part of the coaching structure to assist Slot in stabilizing the squad. And Klopp himself has recently broken his silence in a statement that sent ripples across the football world. "It's the first time I've seen Liverpool have such an expensive squad, yet they're not performing to their potential. I think the problem isn't the players, it's how they are being used. That's the real issue," Klopp said. "I love this club deeply, and if I can help the coach in any way, I will. Maybe it's time to look at how we bring back the fire that made this club great." These words, though measured, have been interpreted as a clear message to the Liverpool board, and perhaps a subtle critique of Arne Slot's methods. Slot's tactical challenges. Arne Slot was brought in to modernize Liverpool's football after the Klopp era. His philosophy of structured pressing, positional rotations, and ball retention was expected to blend smoothly with the team's DNA. However, the adaptation has not gone as planned. Players have reportedly found the system too rigid compared to Klopp's high-intensity gegenpressing. While Klopp encouraged instinctive attacking transitions, Slot's style demands discipline and precision, something many of Liverpool's flair players are struggling to adjust to. There are also growing complaints from inside the dressing room. Several unnamed players, according to Sky's report, have privately voiced their confusion over training routines and tactical clarity, saying the team often feels lost in big matches. A recent 2-1 loss to Chelsea and a painful Champions League defeat to Galatasaray have only deepened the crisis. Fans flooded social media with the hashtag #BringBackKlopp, showing how divided the fan base has become just months into Slot's second season. Board considering action. While Liverpool's ownership group has always valued stability and patience, the competitive nature of English football leaves little room for prolonged failure. Insiders claim that the club's executive meeting scheduled next week could decide Slot's short-term future. If Liverpool continue to drop points in the coming fixtures, especially against Manchester City and Newcastle United, the board is expected to issue a formal warning. This could include a performance clause review, which would trigger a managerial change if results don't improve within a specific time frame. A senior FSG official told reporters anonymously, "We respect what Arne did last season. Winning the Premier League was historic. But football doesn't stop. We can't live in the past. The club needs consistency, and if that means making difficult decisions, we'll do it." This no-nonsense stance from the ownership underscores how Liverpool's ambitions remain sky-high. Winning once is not enough. Sustaining dominance is the real challenge. Klopp's possible role on his return. If Klopp were to return, it wouldn't necessarily be as head coach. Several proposals are reportedly being discussed behind the scenes, including appointing him as a football operations advisor or a senior consultant to help shape training, motivation, and player management. Such a move could help bridge the gap between Slot's tactical discipline and Klopp's emotional leadership. Insiders believe Klopp's presence alone could reignite the dressing room, restore belief, and help guide Slot through the intense scrutiny he now faces. However, some voices inside Anfield warn that Klopp's return, even in an advisory capacity, could undermine Slot's authority, creating confusion among players about who is truly in charge. Still, the majority of Liverpool fans appear enthusiastic about any role that brings Klopp back to the club. On social media, supporters have already started posting banners reading "Welcome home, boss" and "Klopp's spirit never left." The road ahead. Liverpool's next fixtures could define Slot's fate. A strong response in the Premier League and European competitions might ease the pressure temporarily. But another series of poor results could make his position untenable. The players, too, are under watch. Big names like Van Dijk, Salah, Alexander-Arnold, and Mac Allister must step up and lead by example. This is no longer just about the coach. It's about pride, leadership, and the Liverpool identity itself. As Klopp once said during his time at Anfield, "This club doesn't just play football, it breathes it. Every pass, every tackle, every goal means something. Now that passion must return, either through Slot's revival or through Klopp's influence." The situation at Liverpool is delicate. Arne Slot's job is hanging by a thread, and while the board is not ready to pull the trigger yet, patience is wearing thin. Klopp's looming presence only adds to the drama, a legend standing in the shadows, ready to step in if called. For now, Liverpool fans can only watch and hope that the storm settles before it's too late. Whether through tactical evolution or emotional revival, Anfield demands a response. Tension continues to rise at Anfield as Liverpool head coach Arne Slot faces growing scrutiny from the club's management and supporters. According to multiple reports in England, including Sky Sports, Liverpool's top officials are ready to issue a serious warning to the Dutch manager if the team's poor form continues, despite his achievement of winning the Premier League title last season. But this time, the story has a new twist. Club insiders have reportedly told journalists that Slot's success last year came largely thanks to the squad built by Jurgen Klopp, not because of Slot's new ideas. They believe he is now being tested to prove whether he can build and manage a successful team on his own. A senior source close to Liverpool's hierarchy was quoted saying, "Arne Slot did a great job last season, yes. But let's be honest. Those were Klopp's players, Klopp's system, and Klopp's spirit. Now that the structure has changed, he must show his own identity. This season will tell us who he really is as a manager." Indeed, the core of the Liverpool team that lifted the title, players like Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Alisson Becker, were all signed and developed under Klopp's leadership. Many of them had already formed a tight chemistry and a winning mentality long before Slot's arrival. Now, as results start to fall apart, critics are questioning whether Slot has been able to create his own legacy or if he has been living off Klopp's foundation. From champion to challenged, when Slot guided Liverpool to the league title, fans believed he was the perfect successor to Klopp. His calm personality, tactical understanding, and promise of modern attacking football gave supporters hope that the transition would be smooth. However, this new season has been disappointing. Liverpool have dropped crucial points in both the Premier League and Champions League, showing a lack of energy and tactical discipline. The intense pressing and hunger that defined Klopp's Liverpool seem to have faded. In other news, Liverpool owners recall Jurgen Klopp after Arne Slot's poor run of results. In one of the most shocking developments of the Premier League season, Liverpool's owners, Fenway Sports Group, FSG, have reportedly decided to bring back Jurgen Klopp to Anfield, not as head coach, but as a senior member of the club's coaching staff. Following a disastrous spell under current manager Arne Slot, who has lost 3 consecutive matches, including 2 in the Premier League and 1 in the Champions League. The news has sent waves of emotion through Liverpool supporters around the world. Klopp, who stepped down at the end of last season after nearly 9 unforgettable years in charge, could now make a sensational return in a mentoring and advisory capacity. A move aimed at rescuing the club's form and stabilizing the dressing room. A shocking twist in Liverpool's season. Arne Slot's appointment earlier this year was met with cautious optimism. The Dutchman had built an impressive reputation at Feyenoord, known for his tactical intelligence and his ability to develop young players. Liverpool's owners saw him as a fresh mind who could continue the legacy of success that Klopp had built. A man capable of balancing attacking football with modern data-driven methods. However, things have quickly spiraled out of control. Despite a promising start, Slot's Liverpool have suffered 3 consecutive defeats, exposing glaring weaknesses in both defense and attack. 2 losses in the Premier League have already put the club's top 4 ambitions in danger, while a defeat in the Champions League has placed their European campaign under serious threat. Inside the club, the mood has shifted from optimism to frustration. Several senior figures have privately admitted that the team looks lost and uninspired, and that the chemistry that once defined Klopp's Liverpool has vanished. Owners losing confidence in Slot reports from within FSG's leadership circles suggest that the ownership group, led by John W. Henry, has been alarmed by recent results and performances. While the board initially backed Slot to bring his own identity, they are now said to be questioning whether he fully understands what makes Liverpool unique. The emotion, intensity, and unity that Klopp instilled so deeply. According to insiders, discussions have been ongoing for weeks, but the recent defeats accelerated the decision-making process. A senior source was quoted as saying, "Liverpool cannot afford to lose its soul. Klopp represents everything this club stands for: energy, emotion, and fight. The owners believe his presence can help restore order and confidence." This internal push has led to the extraordinary plan of recalling Klopp to join the coaching staff, not to replace Slot immediately, but to work alongside him as a senior mentor. Klopp's legendary legacy. Jurgen Klopp's return, even in an advisory role, would be monumental. His name is written into Liverpool's history books in golden letters. During his time at the club, Klopp transformed Liverpool from a struggling giant into a world-class machine. He guided the Reds to 6 major trophies, including the UEFA Champions League, 2019, the Premier League, 2020, their first in 30 years, the FA Cup, League Cup, and FIFA Club World Cup, plus multiple deep runs in Europe and countless iconic nights at Anfield beyond the trophies. Klopp restored belief to the fan base. His charisma, honesty, and passion created an unbreakable bond between players and supporters. The phrase, "You'll never walk alone," once again carried meaning, and Anfield became one of the most feared stadiums in Europe. It is this emotional connection, and Klopp's deep understanding of the club's culture, that Liverpool's owners now hope can help guide Arne Slot out of crisis. Slot's struggles. While Slot was brought in to modernize Liverpool tactically, he has found it difficult to implement his ideas in the Premier League. His system, based on high pressing and quick transitions, has looked disorganized and exposed at the back. The team's defensive line has been shaky, the midfield lacks structure, and attacking combinations, once Liverpool's strength, have become inconsistent. Even top players like Mohamed Salah and Dominic Szoboszlai have appeared frustrated with the team's lack of identity. The 3 straight defeats have damaged confidence inside the dressing room. Sources claim that some players are beginning to question the manager's communication style and tactical instructions. While Slot maintains professionalism and humility, the pressure is growing fast. Why Klopp's return makes sense bringing Klopp back, even temporarily, would serve multiple purposes. Firstly, it would boost morale among players who idolize him. Secondly, it would help Slot learn how to navigate the enormous expectations that come with leading Liverpool. And thirdly, it would reassure fans that the club's leadership remains ambitious and proactive. Klopp knows Liverpool better than anyone, its traditions, its fans, and the psychological demands of English football. His presence could help restore discipline, team spirit, and tactical clarity at a time when all 3 seem to be fading. One source close to the club summarized it perfectly. Slot has ideas, but Klopp has identity. Combining the two could be Liverpool's way out of this storm. Fans react with passion and joy. The reaction among supporters has been overwhelmingly emotional. Thousands of Liverpool fans have taken to social media expressing excitement and relief at the news of Klopp's potential return. Hashtags like #WelcomeBackKlopp and #YNWAKlopp have already started trending on X, formerly Twitter. Many fans believe Klopp's return could reawaken the fighting spirit that once made Liverpool unbeatable. Others hope his mentorship will give Slot the confidence and knowledge he needs to adapt to the Premier League's brutal demands. However, a small section of fans has expressed caution, warning that having both Klopp and Slot together could create confusion or undermine authority. Yet, most supporters simply want their beloved team back to winning ways. And if Klopp's return can make that happen, they welcome it with open arms. Klopp's response. For now, Jurgen Klopp himself has not made an official statement. Since leaving Anfield, he has spent his time with family, enjoying a rare break from football. Friends close to him say he remains emotionally connected to Liverpool and regularly watches their matches. According to sources in Germany, Klopp was surprised but touched by the idea of returning in a mentorship role. He reportedly told close friends that he would never say no if it meant helping Liverpool through a difficult moment. This attitude has only strengthened the belief within FSG that Klopp's comeback, even if symbolic, could bring much-needed stability and motivation. What it means for Arne Slot. For Slot, the situation is delicate. Accepting Klopp as part of his staff could be seen as a lifeline or as a threat to his authority. The Dutchman has always been respectful of Liverpool's traditions, but he now faces the biggest test of his career. If he can work alongside Klopp and learn from him, Slot could emerge stronger and more prepared for the demands of English football. But if results fail to improve, Klopp's shadow could easily grow larger, leading to inevitable calls for him to retake full control. Insiders suggest FSG still believe Slot can succeed, but only if he accepts help and allows Liverpool's culture to guide him, rather than trying to rebuild it from scratch. An emotional return on the horizon. If confirmed, Klopp's return would be one of the most emotional comebacks in football history. Fans would once again see the man who rebuilt their club, not as the fiery touchline leader, but as a wise mentor helping his successor through a difficult chapter. Liverpool's owners hope this arrangement will balance the future and the past. Slot representing the next generation of leadership, and Klopp embodying the club's timeless spirit. Conclusion. Liverpool's decision to recall Jurgen Klopp after 3 painful defeats marks a defining moment for the club. It is a statement that mediocrity will not be tolerated, and that the club's winning culture must be protected at all costs. For Arne Slot, it is both a warning and an opportunity. He remains head coach, But now, the eyes of Liverpool's greatest modern manager may soon be watching over his shoulder. Klopp's consistency, charisma, and deep understanding of the club could once again prove vital in guiding Liverpool back to its best. And for the fans, the idea of hearing Klopp's voice echo through the corridors of Anfield once more brings hope, nostalgia, and belief. Three things that Liverpool desperately need right now. As one fan put it outside Anfield after the news broke, "If Klopp is back, then hope is back. And when hope returns to Liverpool, anything is possible."